Hello everybody, how you doing? Welcome to American Defender. So today I wanted to talk about your favorite shotgun and mine, the BP-12, a little bit. I'm going to give you a little bit of news on it, things that I've learned over the last couple of years. And then there's actually some more stuff that I'm designing. I'm starting my work on the BP-12 once again. And I want to talk about some accessories that I'm coming up with. So, first off, let's talk about the news and the updates on this thing. Number one, I think it was in 2022. They have changed the gun a little bit internally. All they've really done is up here in the receiver at the back half, they have inserted a big chunk of steel in here to kind of cut the shaving down and eliminate it. And everybody that I've talked to that has that newer model of gun has said, yeah, there's no shaving anymore at all. As a matter of fact, that whole 100-round break-in thing is gone. You don't even need to do it. So that's good news. Okay. Now, the shaving, again, for those of you that have the older guns and you're seeing this and you're like, the shaving, it's not a big deal. It's really thin stuff. All right, like I said, it's thinner than glitter even. And eventually it does stop. I've measured it out on this gun from when it was new to now, and I've shaved a whole total at the deepest spot of 0.008 of an inch. All right, from what I remember, it was 0.008 of an inch. So that's just a little more than a human hair. All right. I get it. It's kind of unnerving to see some shavings running around inside your shotgun, and it makes people nervous. I get that wholeheartedly. I was kind of curious about it in the beginning. With the first one, I was like, whoa, what's going on here? I don't know if I like that. And it turns out it's not a big deal. It happens. Okay. There's even some new guns out there. Most new guns. You go buy a brand new Glock. I've had this happen to me. Buy a brand new Glock, shoot a couple hundred rounds, take it home, and then look really close in different areas, and you'll see little specks of steel everywhere, because every single firearm that has ever been made, unless it's like a musket or something, if it's got moving parts in it, it's got a break-in period. Even Glock will tell you in their manual there's like a 250 round break-in period. All right, so there's so many people out there that are like, well, I have to break a gun in that when I buy it brand new, it's just not a good design. Well, I don't know. Glock's made probably the best pistol design in modern history, and they have a break-in period. It even states that right in their manual. So, there's a lot of people out there that have their own preconceived notions on it, and that's fine. It's okay. But the fact of the matter is, in regards to this shotgun, it stops. It gets to a certain point and it stops. My shotgun is completely stopped. Right? The other cool thing too is they've actually redesigned this gun completely in another model. They've got a brand new model. So if you don't like the idea of a bullpup, but you kind of like the way this thing works as far as the upper goes, well, now they have the Centurion. I think it's called the Optics, or Optus, or Optimus, or something like that. Again, I'm not sponsored, and I don't have one. So, but you can look it up. Here's a picture of one right here. Right. So this thing's supposed to be under 300 or 350 bucks new. It's the exact same shotgun, just in kind of like an AR-12 style platform. Mechanically, it's the same thing, minus the bullpup stock and all the stuff that goes along with the bullpup stock. Okay. So I found that to be, pretty cool. That also tells you that this shotgun has done well enough that they've decided, okay, let's bring out another version of it. Let's continue on. This is one of Century Arms' best-selling firearms that they have out there. Between this and the Canic, that's really doing well for them. Of course, their AKs are doing well, but they're doing some good stuff nowadays. I really do like Century Arms. I do. Big fan of their setpiece. But so that's kind of some of the news as far as the market goes on this. All right. I wanted to kind of cover magazines just real quick and touch on this. I know I have a whole video on them. This is going to be something that it's a reoccurring thing that I've seen in videos, that I've had people comment on, and I want to touch on it because I don't believe that I've really touched on it adequately enough. Okay? And that is inserting a magazine in one of these things. And you know, whether or not these mags are drop free, if they'll ever be drop free. To answer your question, are they drop free? No, they're not drop free. They never have been and they never will be. Not with an empty mag. However, if you put a partially filled mag in one of these, it all of a sudden becomes drop free, because these magazines that come on here, they're really lightweight. These are not a heavy mag at all. This 9-round mag right here, in comparison to like an AK mag, a 30-round AK mag, this is actually lighter. Alright, so there's not a whole lot of weight sitting here, first off. Second off, look at the curvature of that mag. It is curved all the way up. Alright, even on the back, it's curved all the way up. You get a little section right here where it's kind of straight, and a tiny little bit right there. Alright, that's straight, the rest of that is all curved. So when you go to put one of these in, and you go to hit this button, it will drop down a little bit, but because of the curvature of it, the magazine wants to rock back, so it's not going to drop free. And that's not a big deal. I mean, some people might think it is. I don't think it is. Alright, it's not that big of a deal to me. So, yeah. Another thing is over inserting the mag. Now, some of you have caught me doing this. You caught me red-handed. Alright, and in the video where I'm doing that on this shotgun is in BP-12 number 3. The first 100 rounds, when I very first introduced this particular shotgun, and I'm wearing that bright-ass yellow long-sleeve shirt. I hate that shirt with a passion. I don't like long sleeves. When there's a couple times in there where I have a malfunction where like the bolt doesn't want to close and you see me pull the mag out. I don't realize I'm doing it, but I'm over inserting that mag. And you can do that on most of these shotguns, not just the BP-12. The Panzer you can do it, the KRX you can do it, the VR-80 you can do it, the VR-60 you can do it, the MKA-1919 you can do it. On the MKA-1919, not only can you over insert the mag, but when you do go to over insert the mag, it can snap the damn feed ramp right off. Alright, so it's even worse on that. So when you're, I think the KRX is the same way. I don't believe that is the case, however, with this particular shotgun, because I've obviously done it a few times and I still have my feed ramp intact. Okay, I have a spare one just in case though. I'll get more on the feed ramps here in a minute because I'm working on something with feed ramps as well. But as far as this goes, like if you ever have to go pull this magazine out, and it takes a lot of force to pull it out, you've over inserted it. If you go to insert your mag, right, and let's say you got a little forceful with it, and you come over here to hit your slide release or bolt release. I've done so much stuff with pistols that the slides on the mind. But either way, and it's really hard to push this. That's because your magazine's over inserted. So when you go ahead and put this in, you can slide it in. You can slide it in normally, okay? But once you hear that click, that's it. You're done. All right? There's no need to yank on it or anything. You know, once it's clicked, that's it. Okay, that's all there is to it. Now, a way to stop this from happening is, if you're going to load a new mag in, do it with the bolt closed. There's no way you can over insert it. The bolt will stop the mag from going too far. And that actually, for any of these, mag-fed shotguns like this from Turkey, is probably the best way to go about doing it. Is to just do it on a closed bolt, and then go ahead and rack it. Okay. especially if you have a tendency to over insert things. Now, another thing that can happen too, other than busting your feed ramp, is you can actually damage the magazine when it goes in there, because when the bolt comes down, it can push in on the back here, swell it out, collapse it. I mean, it can do all sorts of things to your mag. So when you put one in, you just got to kind of get it here and put it in. All right? Just be nice with it. All right? That's all you got to do. I know in the heat of the moment when you get going, because again, you guys caught me doing it on video when I got in a rush doing, basically the meltdown on this thing. I was just shoving them in and pulling them out and, blowing 5 rounds and shove it in. It's a lot easier to do, too, on the 5 rounders than it is these bigger 9 rounders, and especially that big 19 rounder. A lot easier to do on that littler one. All right, because you got more leverage and everything, and you can really give it the old kung pao going in there. So just, put it in. Once it goes click, you're good. Drop it down and go to fire. Okay? So that's really what I wanted to talk about. Okay? That's what I wanted to talk about as far as magazines go. The modifications, or the accessories that I'm going to be coming out with for this, I've already came out with a couple of them. All right, so the main one that I wanted to get out first was the magazine extension, the +2 extension. And if you have a 3D printer, you can go on Thingiverse, you can search this channel name, and pop, there it is. Now, when you download that file, there's 2 different files there. You want the file that has the little block on the back of it. All right. The first, I can't figure out how to delete files yet on there. I am not technologically advanced myself. Okay. It's amazing that I was even able to design that thing. But you want that one, in my opinion. Just when you go to use that one, and you go to, you have to put a screw in the back of it. What I suggest is drilling and tapping it for whatever size screw you're going to use. Now, I designed it to use a 4mm screw, an Allen head with a little washer, but you could probably get away with an 832. All right, you could probably get away with that. Just drill it and tap it. In one of my videos, it's the video where I was testing the Sarzalmaz C2, C29 or whatever. We actually went ahead and I showed you guys some testing with that extension, and I showed you on there that my extension that I have right now, I just kind of shoved the screw in there and I cracked it a little bit on the back. All right, that's my fault. All right, that's why I'm telling you, pre-drill it and tap it and then put the screw in. All right, and then you won't have a problem with it. The other model that I've made that doesn't have the block can be used, but you're going to have to put a hose clamp around it, because the first time you go to shoot, it's going to want to shoot off the bottom of the mag. When I made that, I thought that the lock plate inside the magazine would lock it on, and I didn't account for the fact that, the spring is going down in there too, and that spring flexes. It was my first time designing anything. So you can use that one, but you're going to want to, get like a hose clamp or something and put it around there. You just want to block the extension from sliding. That's what you want to do. All right. The other thing you can do, if you don't think that you're ever going to take it off, is just run a little bit of some epoxy down on the inside groove of that, and then slide it on the mag and let it dry. All right. Now the problem with that is, if you ever need to get it off, you're not going to without breaking it. But then again, it's literally a couple cents worth of plastic, so it's not that big of a deal. Also, keep your factory end plate in case you ever want to go back to it for whatever reason, or you have an emergency. Keep those. All right. So either way, the second version that's on there, just look for the one that's dated the newest. Is my preferred version on there. It's, even with that little bit of a crack that I have in that area because of the screw, damn thing functions 100%, and it's got lots of rounds through it now at this point in time. So it's very sturdy and it does the job. Now, I've talked about some other stuff that I wanted to do, like relocating the bolt release, stuff with the mag release. And I've started to work on the bolt release on here. And it's not much right now, all right? But I have started on it. I'm actually getting ready to 3D print the rest of it. But I have figured out the linkage system, and it's right here. All right, now this is very simple. All right, this is just a piece of, really it's just spring steel wire is what it is. All right, and what I'm going to do is there's going to be a hinge that goes onto this that will attach to the outside of the gun. I originally wanted to do this all from the inside of the stock. The problem with that is they just didn't give you any room on this side to do that. So, and I'm trying to make this something to where it can be reversed. You know, if somebody wants to take it off and doesn't want to use it, then you can. Okay. But the way this is going to work, it's really simple stuff. Okay. This is going to run down the side of the gun. All right, and then we've got this 90-degree bend. Kind of hard to hold this right. All right, so you got this 90-degree bend here. This is going to kind of run down the side of the gun right here. And I haven't decided where I want to drop it yet. I'm kind of thinking like in this area here or in this area here. But originally I was thinking about moving it up here. I don't know yet which route I'm going to go. You tell me what would you rather have to make it to where you can operate the bolt release with your firing hand or your offhand. Because if you want it with your offhand, then it'll go up here. If you want it with your firing hand, use just your trigger finger, then it'll drop right here, and you'll just stick your finger through the trigger guard, and that'll drop it. All right. But that's kind of the way I'm going to do it. It'll. I haven't decided yet if I want this to rotate like so, in this kind of fashion, or make it to where I have a lever here and I pull back on it, and then this has a roller that'll go on here and then roll over it and push it down. I'm thinking I would rather have it roll in this fashion, because this kind of a motion here would be a lot safer than this. See why? Okay, so that's originally why I wanted to put it up here. All right, and the same thing up here. I could make it to where you just push it and it drops the bolt, or you come up here with your finger and just push it back. That roller comes back here, pushes in on this, drops your bolt, and it makes it to where you can do it without having to, come off of the hold. All right. So that's again, it's not much. It's a piece of wire with a 90 on the end of it, but it's the beginning. Okay, it's the beginning of it. I am working on it. The next thing too that I'm working on at the same point in time is another charging handle for this thing. Now the original one that I made was just a knob for folks with arthritis, and that's kind of what I'm thinking is folks with arthritis. This charging handle that comes from the factory, it's really a one-finger handle. And I was recently diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis in my hands. I'm at the very beginning of it. All right. So when I, thinking about that, I wanted something that had more grip. All right, more area. And the very first thing I thought of was kind of like the charging handle that I've seen on, I believe it's the M60. Where the charging handle comes out and down. It's a 90-degree thing, and it's about so long. All right, and I really like that idea. So that's what I'm working on right now, is a charging handle like that, to where you can come up with your whole hand, or at least 2-3 fingers, and just stick it up in here. Really get a good grip on it and yank it back. All right. That's what I'm working on right now as far as charging handles go. And as far as your mag release goes, on making it ambidextrous, that's going to be a challenge, but again, I think it's going to take some kind of a linkage system or something to come up here to where the button's going to go back here, of course, and you push it. And again, there's probably going to be some kind of roller, maybe a cable system or something, I don't know, where it'll push in on that. All right. I've thought about possibly also making a extended mag release on here that would drop way down and have a cam system on it to where down here there's just a lever and you would push down on it. That cam system would push in on this, and then you could pull it out, all right? Or you could still just hit it with your thumb if you wanted to. That right there is still in, and it's still up here. I haven't really started on that yet. Right now I'm focusing on bolt release and charging handle. All right, getting something with more of a positive grip on it, and getting something to where the bolt release isn't all the way back here. I want to be able to have control of the firearm in my hand and not have to take this hand off of the front and move it back here. I want it to stay here, all right? In case something happens, you know, if you have a situation and you're like this, you know, and you're looking around and you go to drop it or whatever, and you need to get your hand up here for whatever reason, it's not going to be like, oh, and you're fumbling. This way you're here already, and when you're ready to drop it, it's just bump, pop it, and you know, do what you got to do. Speed it up a little bit. That's what I'm working on. I also added a laser, as you can tell. Surprisingly enough, I took it out of the box. I put it on this left side, and the damn thing zeroed right out of the box. That is a win. Okay, it is already zeroed. I mean, just sitting right here. Like when I pop my front side up, it's like right there, right where it needs to be. All right, so that's just a little Amazon cheapo laser sight that I put on the front. I got my finger, my thumbs right there, so it works. Just got a little push button on it. I don't like the pressure switches with all the wires and stuff going everywhere, so it's just more stuff to snag on. So I just got the button right there. It works. So anyway, guys, that's the BP-12 kind of stuff that's going on with it. Things I'm doing, things that are coming for it. Hey, if you've watched this all the way through to this point in time, listen to me yammer all the way through the show here today, I really do appreciate it. And if you could do me one favor, hit that like button for me, because that's what really matters now, and it'll really help the channel moving forward. And also, you could subscribe too if you like to. With that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. So as usual, take a kid fishing, take a kid shooting. God bless you. God bless America. And I will see you on the flip. Bye now.